Hello everybody, I'm opinionated and I like terrible puns. So a lot of those pro-console arguments keep popping up all over the internet and they're all wrong or just weak, and I'll show you why. So the first anti-PC argument is that people like to play on a big television with their controller on their couch. And that one just isn't based in reality. Looking at the back of any halfway modern computer, you'll find an HDMI port the same as on a console, except actually you might find more than one. So hooking up your PC to a TV is no problem at all. Taking it a step further, you can run two displays at the same time with even the cheapest graphics cards. And it's possible to stretch a game over multiple displays on the PC, meaning you can play on 3 televisions at the same time if you wanted to. And if you want to play with a controller, you can pick whichever one you want. Xbox 360 and One, PS4 controller, they all work. Even the new Switch controller works perfectly fine, which leaves the consoles with no advantage whatsoever. And even though playing on a television with a PC is absolutely no problem whatsoever, there are a couple of words to be said about input lag. It's the amount of time it takes a display to actually show what image it receives at its ports. Obviously, a lower input lag means it's better suited for gaming. On displaylag.com, you'll see the first 3 pages filled with just monitors, not a single TV there. And even the fastest televisions they test have twice as much input lag as the fastest monitor. Which means that in fast-paced games, you'll always be better off by getting a gaming monitor and not a television. By the way, plugging a console into a monitor is also possible. And now a couple words about screen size, because it just doesn't matter too much how big your screen is, it matters how much of your field of view it fills. For example, I've got a 32-inch television and a 24-inch monitor. Well, actually 3 of them. And the 32-inch television fills less of my field of view than one of my 24-inch monitors does. And a VR device like an Oculus Rift fills all of your field of view, while the screen size is actually quite tiny. So remember, size doesn't matter, but what matters is how you use it. But what matters is perspective. And now everybody and their fucking mother seems to regurgitate the myth that the PC is so fucking complicated, and it's just not. Now the argument that PCs have driver issues all the time is maybe back from the Windows XP era. Nowadays Windows 7, 8 and 10 keep very good track of drivers and keep you updated automatically. Now sure, you can go to the manufacturer's site and see if they have a newer version of the driver available, but that's not an issue for the common or casual gamer who doesn't really give a shit. Another thing that makes the PC so complicated is having choices. Choices such as which voice client you want to use, where do you want to buy your games, where do you want to download them to, and all that kind of stuff. But if you have the choice between which service you want to use, that means those services compete with one another. Meaning that Steam, for example, had to now offer refunds because Origin did it and everyone was giving Steam crap about not doing so. But on a console you have only one place to go to, and if that sucks, well that's your fucking problem. A funny issue I have on my PlayStation 3, and it's not all that funny, is that if PlayStation Network's down, I can't log into Netflix. What the hell? Seriously, what the hell? Because PlayStation Network is down all the time. Okay, granted, sometimes it's just being hacked. So if that singular service you have is down, then, well, good luck, you can't really do anything, because everything's down. If Steam's down, it's not that big a deal. First of all, you can still play a lot of the games just fine, because they don't run off the Steam servers. And also, I can just play something like Blizzard games. They use their own network, and that's rarely down these days. Oh yeah, and if Steam's down, you can still play all your games in offline mode. You can't play multiplayer with them, but you can still play every single game you got. Many also complain about how time-consuming it is to get a PC to actually run before you can start playing a game. And there are not that many steps to it. There's first, get PC, 2, hook up PC, 3, log into Windows or create a Windows account, 4, download for example Steam, 5, purchase and or download game, 6, launch game, 7, enjoy. Now sure, a PC has to update itself and all that crap, but the consoles nowadays do the same thing, so nobody wins here anyways. Something that I also heard only from the console people is that real PC gamers assemble their computer themselves. Which I don't think any PC gamer says. Usually they say something like, hey, you can get a better deal or get a better customized PC if you do it that way, but there's no shame in buying a pre-built if you don't want to deal with it. And if you decide to build your PC for yourself, first of all, great, and second of all, it's not that difficult. Everything can only go in the slot it's supposed to go into, and only in the way it's supposed to go into. It's always locked down to this one position in which it works. That's why so many people describe it as Lego. It's really, really simple. If you don't know what parts you need to get, just type in your budget and gaming PC into Google and you'll probably find some decent results. And to assist you with the assembly, there are tons of guides on YouTube. But getting back to the point, you don't need to do significantly more when getting a pre-built PC than you would with a console. Now to the next blatant lie that console people will tell about PCs. It's that you constantly have to upgrade your PC. And that's complete bullshit. You can constantly upgrade your PC, but there's no obligation to do so. Especially in the CPU department, there hasn't been that much development going on in the last couple of years. RAM doesn't seem to make a difference on gaming performance, hard drives don't really make a difference in FPS numbers. So the only thing to get fussed about is the GPU. And even say 5-year-old middle-class graphics cards will still completely smoke any console. If your goal is to just have a better experience than on a console, there's no need to upgrade for a long time. Console peasants just try to paint this picture that every PC gamer needs to be on the bleeding edge all the time or they're going to slit their throats. Aside from the fact that I don't know anybody who's like that, they try to paint options as a bad thing. You can upgrade your PC whenever you want to, whenever you feel like it's not adequate anymore. And now getting to the worst point ever. You have to constantly troubleshoot your PC, there's always an issue, you have to repair it all the time. No. No, you don't. It's not that bad. We're not on Windows 95 anymore. And even then it was better than they're now describing it to be. It's another way of them condemning options. They're showing how much they dislike choices. Because if something goes wrong on your console, you're screwed. Either you're covered under warranty, or you need to get a new console. Remember that red ring that the Xbox 360 used to get all the time? It's the only thing I know about the Xbox 360 because that's the only thing it did. Little exaggeration on my part, but I'm sure everybody who has had an Xbox 360 knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because everyone who's had an Xbox 360 had at least 2 Xbox 360s. Now if you had a pre-built PC, you can just send it back under warranty the same way you would a console. Or if you're savvy enough, you can fix it yourself, and often enough it's not that difficult. Or another option would be to get a repairman to do it. You have more options than on a console. It's just a positive. And it's especially bad with software problems. If there's something wrong with a game on a console, you can't fix that. No way you can fix that. So you just have to wait until there's a patch and it resolves it, if there ever is one. On a PC, often there's a forum post somewhere already where you can just type in your error, sometimes it has a number attached to it, and you'll be done with it within a minute or so. And nowadays, because all consoles have internet access as well, they also release broken and unfinished games there. They don't care anymore, because they don't have to. The customers being the unfortunate beta testers is just a reality everybody has to face now. Because the only solution to that would be voting with your money, and nobody does that. Nobody stops buying a game because it's bad. Everybody just jumps to every new game that's released and just throws their money at the corporations that sell them. People still buy so many early access games, but it's retarded. It's actually dumb. It's harmful to the industry. Well, it harms the consumer side of the industry, not the producer part. They're just fine. They can just sell you an unfinished piece of crap and sit on their ass while everybody still buys it. The only way that I can see those companies changing their ways and finally releasing finished games anymore is if you'd vote with your money. If everybody stopped buying, then they would have to start changing. Capitalism 101. Now I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode where I'll debunk more console peasant crap.